guys, welcome to Full Out Flying Solo. I feel like my husband and I have been in couples therapy like pretty much since we met because we live in LA and that's what you do. And it's like, I feel like now couples therapy is like, you're like dating somebody for 6 months and they're like, well, let's go to couples therapy. But no, I think we had moved in together and we decided to go to couples therapy, which was really helpful for us. And so with couples therapy, I really wanted to go to my own therapist. And I was like, this is all like Marco's issue. I want him to come to my therapist so she can like tell him like that blah, 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 this is his issue, which that's not appropriate. You have to find like your own couples therapist. So we find this couples therapist. And the first session we go in, he's like this sweet older man. The first session we go in and I'm like sitting in the session and I'm like, okay, we're here because of me, not because of Marco. And I was like, oh, okay, I think that we're here because of me. And like, over the course, like we realized it was both of us and it was really good for us. But I have this weird thing where I know everybody thinks that they become their therapist's favorite patient, client, whatever you call it. But like, hear me out here because sometimes I think I actually really am my therapist's favorite. And like my personal therapist that I was seeing when I started going to couples therapy, she told me that if something ever happened between Marco and I could move in with her. And I was like, I've got to be her favorite, right? And then I had this nemesis in acting who like we would see each other at every audition and sometimes she would get it and sometimes I would get it. But I felt like she was so calculated and like being a mean girl to me about it. Like she wanted to like mess with me kind of. And she would be like, oh, I'm going, are you going to this other audition after? Like, you can have my sides because I already went in for that audition. I'm like, what? Like, it's just like weird stuff where I'm like, if I was going to another audition, I would have my sides already. She just like wanted to mess with me. And I was telling that therapist about her. And as I was walking out of her office, she goes, and let's just hope she gets hit by a bus. And I was like, what? Okay, I know she was like joking, but like I have to be her favorite, right? If she's like wishing that on my nemesis. But anyways, we go to couples therapy and it's like really helpful for us. And I feel like my couples therapist is like, I kind of win every couples therapy session. And I find out that he has a daughter who's my exact age, whose name is Brittany. And she's also like petite. And then like over the course of like, we went to him for years. Like we find out she was also a competitive cheerleader in college. And so I feel like he like really gets me, this like older sweet man who I like adore. And I started to be like, he's my dad. Like I've been in therapy for so many years, probably because of my dad. And now I've found my one true dad in therapy, and it's my therapist. And he loves me like his daughter because basically I am his daughter. His daughter's name is Brittany. She is like exactly the same as me. She had a kid the same time as me. So it's so funny. And we like, my husband would always be like, oh, like I can never win in therapy, because our therapist was just like always on my side. And then one day I'm in therapy and my husband and our therapist are kind of like on my case a little bit about the fact that I can't relax. They're both saying like that I can't relax and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't want to just like sit around and like they like read books and that's how they relax or they like this or that. And I'm like, okay. So I leave being like, oh, I like for the first time ever, I lost therapy because I can't relax. I guess I'm somebody who can't relax. And Marco, my husband, who asked me not to say his name, is, which just makes it so hard. He's like, oh, I want therapy. And we're like laughing about it, the whole, like we're laughing about it for a few days. And a few days later, we get an email from our therapist that is an apology to me, being like, Brittany, I'm so sorry about our session the other day. I feel like I've been thinking about it and it was really hard on you. And you do know how to relax. You just relax in a different way than Marco and I do. And like, you're not like, just basically being like, I don't relax the same as them. And Marco and I were like dying laughing because basically I was like, yeah, because I'm his daughter. And his daughter also went to school for broadcast journalism, which is what I went to school for. Just so many weird, crazy coincidences. But yeah, we really I really liked him because I always wanted. No, I'm kidding. He was like amazing, really great. He ended up moving away to be closer to his daughter and her kids. So now we have somebody else. But the first session we went with our new woman who I love. I was pregnant and maybe it was like one of the first ones because I'm always like, I don't know why I like do this thing where I feel like I become my therapist's like favorite, like whatever. And I sometimes will even tell people like, just, I don't know, like I want to make sure people are not just being like, oh yeah, on my side, you know, like I don't want to just be validated for my behavior. I'm like here to work on something. But Marco and I are in there. My husband and I are in there. And I was pregnant with my son and I was super nauseous. And I was like, and I think I need to go to acupuncture because it just like the nausea was horrible with my daughter. And I was like having a lot of anxiety about the fact that I was going to be pregnant for so long and like nauseous and sick for so long because like knowing what I'm getting into because I had done it before just was giving me so much like depression and like anxiety. And I was like, I need to find an acupuncturist. And then she's like, okay, I never do this. And I like looked at Marco because I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening again. And she's like, my daughter is an amazing acupuncturist. I never give out her information or connect people. But if you want to see her, like I'm happy to connect the two of you. And I was like, it happened again, like within like 3 sessions. She never does that. She never does it. But anyways, I do think couples therapy is really helpful, whether you're just having a good time in life or a bad time. It's been super helpful for both of us because you can't hide when the other person is there to point out your shit. I do think you should always go to therapy with somebody. Sometimes when I'm there alone, I'm like, I wish I had like somebody else here with me to be like, yeah. So anyways, that's that. I feel like my full out therapist. We're going to do some stories, some full out stories that you guys wrote in. So here's Molly.
Hello. Okay.
Thank you guys for writing in your stories. We love hearing them. Keep sending them to us. It's so fun to hear how other people go full out and are crazy in their lives. So it's not just me sitting here talking about how crazy I am. And to all my therapists who are probably watching this episode because I'm your favorite, hey. Just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I get that. My friend David and I talk about having to be our therapist's favorite as well. But my insurance like got weird, and so I haven't seen my therapist in like 2 months.
Oh no.
But I know I was her favorite, and I'm really scared that she's found a new favorite, and I need to go back ASAP so she loves me again.
So she remembers you and loves you. Yeah, I'm sure you're still her favorite.
She was also a military kid, lived in Germany, acted, went to UCLA.
Oh my gosh.
Literally I'm like the younger version of her. So she's
like your real mentor.
She is. Yeah. Okay. So first story from Casey. Hi, Brittany. I'm like you. I can't do anything not full out. I decided to study a new language, Dutch, and I've made it my whole personality. I'm on 3 different language learning apps, watching TV in Dutch, and following Dutch creators on Instagram, so I see the language in my feed. I do tend to fall out of obsession quickly, but maybe I'll get some Dutch phrases out of all of this.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay. I wonder why she decided to learn Dutch.
Yeah.
Just because on a whim? That's like a pretty like interesting niche whim.
I know. I wonder because I've worked on Spanish and German, but like both of my families, so like that makes sense. But like Dutch, I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like A lot of people get obsessed with the language apps because they're fun for a second and then they fall off.
You got me
have to be
hooked on one recently. I texted you about it.
yeah.
I texted Brittany at like 6 a.m. because I've been taking these walks and doing my language learning on the walks. And I texted her like so early and I was like, okay, I'm like obsessed with Pimsleur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's different than like a regular learning app. I know.
Yeah. People in my neighborhood think I'm like crazy, like just like talking to myself on these walks, but it's great.
My whole family has started learning French on Duolingo. Like my dad started, my mom started when Penelope started speaking because she was speaking in French, like primarily when she first started speaking, and my mom couldn't understand her. And then she was like, I'm going to do Duolingo so I can understand Penelope.
Aw.
And then my dad started it and they're not married. And then my sister and her husband started it and they all tell me like what day they're on all the time. And my dad, well, my sister and her husband don't really, but my dad tells me all the time. And he's always like doing his Duolingo whenever he's around. And he is on day like 1,000 and something. But he started like acting like he knows French more than I do.
Of course.
And I'm
that
like,
checks out.
you're on day like 1,000 something of Duolingo. Like, that's amazing. You've learned a lot of French, but don't like correct me. Like, you know, some, like, I don't know. It's like become my sister who was here and he was doing it to me. And we both were kind of like, yeah, he thinks he knows French. Like, it's like, as if like I've never learned French and he knows it from Duolingo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you need like a little more than I tried to like pitch Pimsleur to him.
Yeah, because I did
he doesn't wanna
Duolingo.
do it.
Yeah, I did Duolingo German for like 3 years and it gave me the basics, but then I was like, I need something else. And now Pimsleur is like really, I feel like helping me take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So Pimsleur, you should really sponsor this podcast.
I feel like we're the only ones who even know about you anyways.
So come
like,
sponsor us. Okay, Lily, this one's crazy. Okay. I had a very full out date this week. I went to a nude spa with him. We've only been dating for a month, so it was a lot. It took everything in me not to make it weird and make awkward jokes. Definitely nothing sexy about a nude spa. Maybe a little romantic, but not sexy. Probably because the majority of people were over the age of 70. Definitely an experience, but hey, we decided to go on more dates.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. I have so many questions. Like if you've slept together already or not, because I feel like if you haven't, that's like weird to see each other naked at a nude spa with a bunch of old people for the first time. And then also, I feel like you have to make awkward jokes in that situation. That's like an awkward, weird situation.
I would make awkward jokes.
All I would do is make awkward jokes.
Yeah,
because
but
it
unless
is awkward.
He was not being awkward and then like maybe, I don't know.
If he's taking it seriously as this is like a normal thing he does, then I would run for the hills. I would get out of that relationship immediately. If he takes girls on like early dates to a nude spa, bye. I'd be like, no, thank you. Like,
That's very true.
No.
That's very true. Yeah.
But I guess let us know how that goes.
Yeah. I went to We Spa once, not knowing it was a nude spa with a new friend though. I was like, oh, I saw this place on TikTok. We should go. She was like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's a spa. And then we get there and she's like, okay, are you ready? And I was like, yeah, like, okay, for what? Like, it's a spa.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's a nude spa. And I was like, what? And she's like, I thought you knew that. I thought it was kind of weird you suggested we go here. And I was like, oh my God, no. I was like, I think you suggested it. I was like, I had no idea it was a nude spa. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah.
Did you guys go?
We went, but I was like really weird about it. And then I went later. I went to a nude spa in like the Black Forest in Germany with like one of my best friends. And that was fun. But yeah, it was like my bestie. So
I went to We Spa one time with a girl I worked with at a bar invited me to go. And I was like, okay. And I went and I remember like, you know, we were like work friends, kind of. And I just like laughed. I was so young too. And I just like laughed the whole time. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like giggling to myself the whole time. Like, I don't know. It just like, this is weird to be here with her. This is also like not our normal vibe. I feel like it was like an invasion of these people's privacy because this is like what they come to do. I don't know. I just like didn't feel like I should have been there.
Spa. I was like, I'm not I was like, this feels like, well, also like someone brought like 4 of their children to We Spa, which was like weird being in a nude spa with kids.
No,
That
is
was
not okay.
very weird. So that was,
is
and I was
not-
shocked We Spa
not-
let that
not
happen.
okay.
And they had like their toys like in the spa area. So that made it very weird.
That is
But-
definitely not okay.
Yeah.
I one time was at like a sample sale clothing thing, and this woman had her kids in the like group changing room that all the women were in, and there was this little boy that kept staring at me, and I kept turning around, and I was like, this is not
That's
like
also not
appropriate
okay.
for your kid to be in here for your
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
well, keep your kids out of nude spas,
Yeah,
you
please.
weirdos.
It made me never wanna go back.
Psychos. Like, nobody should do that. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's not okay, full out. Okay.
Make sure
Thank
you keep writing in stories.
keep writing in stories and not those kind. Okay. At thoughts@fulloutpod.com and DM us, Instagram, whatever that is Instagram. Okay, I'll let Molly handle all of the real terminology of that.
Yes, thoughts@fulloutpod.com, our Instagram, fulloutpod, TikTok, fulloutpod, audio messages, write us out. Like, yeah.
Thanks, guys. We love you. Bye.
Bye.